Hey guys, what's going on? It's Jay from Sony Alpha Lab, and what I want to show you in this tutorial is lens adapters. And this is my Sony Nex 6. Just got it. Really nice camera. Working on it. You guys have seen a lot of the sample images and whatnot. This is the power zoom lens here, and let me just turn it on quick. And this is the power zoom. It's got this little lever here. And that's it. Zoom in, zoom out. Pretty much all there is to it. What's interesting about the Nex E-mount is this distance between the flange and the sensor. Like this here is the flange, the actual mount, and the sensor back there. It's only 18 millimeters. That's actually where the E-mount comes from. The E stands for 18. And that 18 millimeter, that really short distance from the flange to the sensor, it does create some challenges optically, but what it also does is it allows you to use lens adapters and other lenses, like my Canon full-frame EF lenses. So basically what this lens adapter does is it increases the distance between the sensor and the mount point to match what Canon's standard is, for example. That's what this adapter does. This is a Photodiox Canon EF lens mount to Sony E-mount camera on the other side. So it goes from the EF lens to the E-mount for the actual, Nex 6 itself. So I can basically just screw this on, just like a normal lens. See that? It clicks on, and now I have a Canon EF mount, basically, and I can put on any one of these lenses. I can put on this monster lens here. As ridiculous as it may seem, image quality is going to be off the charts with this lens and this camera combo. So it's pretty cool. And you might notice I took a bunch of images I just put up actually today, the day I'm filming this, and I used this lens. This is the Canon 135 f2. I just wanted to show this to you. Like, you can see how much glass is there. It's unbelievable. So you put this on there, and it's like, boom, you got like full-fledged like cinematography type, optics with that shallow depth of field. You can walk through the depth. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. And lens adapters allow you to do that. And notice how the distance was increased on the flange, It just increased the distance to whatever Canon standard is. So it added like an inch to move the lens forward. And now the lens is the correct distance from the sensor in order to work properly. That's basically all the lens adapter does. And they make the lens adapter for pretty much every lens out there. The Canon FD lenses kind of got my attention these days because they're super high quality, fully manual, and they're much smaller than the EF lenses. And there's a bunch of them on eBay that, I don't know, I got my eye on. So, but anyway, that's pretty much the extent of it. And now what I want to do, I'm going to flip the camera around. I'm going to show you how you need to set the actual Nex camera up in order to use a lens like this, because when you first put an adapter and a lens on, it's going to say there's no lens attached, what are you doing? So you have to go into the menu and change a couple of settings. And I'm just going to move the camera in front and film it from the back so you can see exactly what I'm doing. I'll walk you through the menu, and that's pretty much it. That's what I wanted to show you. And another thing, a lot of people say that it's awkward when you put a lens like this on here, and I honestly don't think it's that awkward. I can still hold the camera like this, just like an SLR, with just one finger because of the grip. And when I'm shooting, I pretty much have all the weight in my palm. And I'm like this. And that's pretty much how I hold my SLR also. Like, that's how I hold my 5D Mark II I'm filming with right now. So even with this big lens on, I have my hand right here and the camera right here. Like, that's how I hold it, regardless if it's the Nex or the, 5D Mark II. So I hear a lot of people complaining that the ergonomics just isn't there, but I mean, when you're holding it like this and like this, I mean, there's really not much difference. You're just pointing and shooting like, I don't know, it's really not that much of a hindrance. I mean, I can understand the grip's not as big, and things like that, but it's not as much of a hindrance as some people like to make it out to be, in my opinion. Especially with this beefed up grip, it's much better than the older grip. Now you can actually hold it like this with confidence and not worry about dropping it. Alright guys, here we are on the back of the Nex 6, and here I have the lens attached, the 135 Canon, and if I try and take a picture, it says, cannot recognize lens, attach it properly. See that? All right, so this is what we're gonna do. Check this out, really easy. We're just gonna go to menu and then we're gonna go to setup. All right, and I'm gonna show you a couple of things that I like to change in here. There's a couple. Let's scroll up here. I'm just scrolling. I like to get rid of that menu that keeps popping up there. I'm gonna turn that off. Here, help guide display. Turn that off. Really don't like that. So that'll stop popping up now. Date and time, I might have to reset that because I just initialized this, but I'm just going to show you the settings for shooting without a lens. Or shooting with lens adapters, I should say. These are all default settings, so I'm just going to keep scrolling up here. Here we go, release without lens. See that? How it's set to disable? Enable that. Oops. Like so. Then scroll, color space, I'm going to change that to Adobe RGB. It's a wider color gamut. Alright, peaking level, I'm going to turn that on, and I'm going to turn it on low. And then I'm going to make my color red for peaking color. Now this is going to help you manual focus. That's what peaking level is. Really cool feature, and it helps you manual focus. Grid line, I'm going to turn that on also. I like to have the rule of thirds. You'll see that in a second. Live view, setting effect on. This option here is the setting that you'll need to change if you decide to use manual mode inside the studio, because you're going to want your live view to be able to display as if it's an optical viewer. And in order for that to happen, you have to turn this off. Setting effect on, you need to have that set to off for using studio lights with manual mode. Alright, so that's pretty much it. That should be all the settings we needed to change. Now I should be able to focus and take a picture. So let's see here. Yeah, there we go. All right, now see those lines on the edge of the blue on the right hand side there? Those are the focus peaking lines. See that red line that's coming up? That's a focus peaking line. Hopefully you can see that on the camera, but on the screen here. But that's all there is to it. Now this camera is set up to use lens adapters, and you can pretty much just point and shoot, but you do have to manually focus. Notice how the aperture down here has a blank. It just says like dash dash. That's because it has no idea what lens is attached. So the shutter speed is just going to adjust automatically. And right now this lens is at f2. So, you know, the shutter speed is going to be pretty fast for these dark conditions that I'm filming in right now. So that's pretty much it, guys. I hope you got something out of this, and please feel free to ask questions if you have any. And I will catch up with you on Sony Alpha Lab. And be sure to check out the new Sony Alpha forum that is growing daily. All right, guys, take care and have a good day.